Sagittarius. Hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time being here, I appreciate you stopping in for a listen. And of course, if you're a returning listener, thanks for coming back. This is the last batch of zodiac sign readings that I'm doing for 2021. So it's a good time to stop in. And I've got some runes in here for you guys. And I've got some little books for decoding said runes. So let's get started. I've got the Wildwood Tarot here, and this reading is checking in for just the end of the year. What do you need to hear, say, or do to wrap up 2021? That's what these readings are checking in for. Sorry. A little tablecloth kind of hits the cabinet over here and makes the door shake a little. Said 3. All right, let's get started. What do you need to hear, say, or do to wrap up 2021 and prepare for the new year? Eight of Bows, Hearth Fire. I just had a little bit of pain kind of go through the side of my right arm over here. Let me sit with this for a second. It just gave me, this is a song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. And that's where it was just going around in the circle. And it was like they were all singing the song that never ends, okay? That's what we've got here. It's talking about friendships. It's talking about like friendships that don't have to end, songs that never end, friendships that never end. Like going around and around in a circle. It's a good energy. It's just I'm trying to figure it out. Like that's the thing. Like there's this circle motion like this. It said this is the way like conversations are supposed to flow. It's also pointing out though that this is flowing backwards. So it's like kind of like talking backwards through time. Right, sharing old stories, which is definitely an energy that comes off of this card. So that's one thing, is like talking about things that have passed, good times with old friends, right? There's this circle time energy of just passing stories around and, you know, passing cups around. So that's a good energy to have right here, Sagittarius. You got some friends around you. It feels like very cheery times indeed. What's this energy? It said, however, you're kind of standing alone over here. It just said, like, you're not a part of this group. It's saying how, like, all of these men here have bows and you have a spear. Now, this is a major arcana card, and it's the strength card. And part of the strength is this warrior figure. He's actually the Woodward. And that's where it's like, it's not solely a warrior energy. It's a bit of a hunter energy. It's this, it's that. He's wearing a lynx skin, but also has one for a pet. So, you know, like, there's blood on the spear, knowing when to kill, knowing when not to kill. Kind of like learned from a lot of different things. But it's very much pointing out the spear and just how, like, that's a different weapon than what all of these men have. And that's what, like, distinguishes you and sets you apart. but it's also by choice. Like, he chose a spear over the bows. So it's making this point here about how, like, you chose your own path. It's like totally a Sagittarius energy right there. You chose your own path. You chose your own weapon. And that all of those choices are part of the reason why you are standing away from this group alone. But you're, for the most part, pretty content with that, I think. Especially with this being a major arcana card, it's like, I don't know, it's like you're not interested in hanging out with this group of people, either at this time or just in general. You're very much turning your back to them and standing on your own. So, Sagittarius, before I flip this third card, for some of you guys, I'm getting the sense that you do want this energy. And Spirit is pointing out that it just kind of said the word stubborn, and it's like you're standing on your own, right? This is a major arcana, so you're being majorly stubborn and majorly solitary. Not necessarily isolationist, but solitary, and you're choosing to stand over here. You chose a different kind of weapon. You're just not mingling very well with these people, and that's where it's kind of flipping into the other side of the mindset, where it's like, well, everyone should be unique anyway, so if these people don't want me around, then I don't want to be around them. And that's where the strength is a good strength, right? Like, if these people don't accept me, then I don't need to be around them. There's a double energy here of, like, I think wanting to be amongst friends and people, but very much like being a solitary creature. And at the same time, it's like, well, if these people don't want me around, maybe you're just not accepting the invitation. You're not, like, there's kind of a space right here amongst these people, right? Like, there's another spot for you to stand, Sagittarius. So that's what I mean. It's like, there's a little bit of this suggestion that's like, you know, you can totally come stand right here and, like, be a part of this little circle if you want to, but you're like, I'm good. I'm going to stay over here. Take that how that resonates for you. What's this? Ten of Arrows, instruction. In this deck, a Ten of Arrows or a Ten of Swords is a very different energy. It's not the same as a Ten of Swords in a traditional deck. This is about grandfathers essentially passing on knowledge to grandkids, so just generations of people passing on knowledge to the next generation of people, and that's the completion of the cycle, right? All of the wisdom that you've learned through your life, you are passing on to other people and showing them how to use it. It said you're still not a part of this group either, Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, you're a centaur, and we've got, like, this animal motif very strongly coming through on this strength card, and that's where it's just pointing out that literally Sagittarius energy is meant to represent a bit of the wildness of half man, half beast, right? Half human, half animal spirit. So there's a really nice conversation happening here about the qualities that make you who you are. There's also this conversation, though, about how those same qualities keep you very isolated within your own card, within your own energy, and you're not mingling with this group or this group. You're not hanging out with these people that are supposed to be at least friends or brothers, ancestors. You're not hanging out with this grandfather or this child. So it's like you're not this old yet either, is part of what it's saying. Like, some of you guys have not yet reached this. You're looking forward into the years ahead of you to come when you do become old and gray. What are you going to be like and everything? the kind of stuff you want to pass down, the kind of legacy you want to leave, but you're also not a part of that group yet. But you're not standing over here with this child either, so you're not passing down any of what you do know. It's just saying how like you're literally just like standing back from this and standing away from them, and you're just standing here in the middle of your own card. Let's get 3 more on this. So that's what I mean. It's like there's this conversation about the qualities and strengths and good things that you have within your energy, Sagittarius, but there's just this kind of like observational energy that's looking at these cards and just saying like you're not stepping into any of these other groups or these other cards and being an active part of those things. And it's just something to take note of, I feel like. I think I was a little off camera just because the way the lighting is in here in my office right now, it kind of like casts a shadow over stuff. So I've been trying to do those things. All the kids in my neighborhood are like tearing it up on their 4-wheelers and stuff right now too. All right, I'm sure you can hear them. Got the Judgment card under this 8 of Bows. The Great Bear, the White Bear. So this is like a tomb, and this is a threshold, and it's always saying how, can you see this on the camera? Yeah, okay. In this card, it always talks about how like you have to pass over that threshold and go through that door. It can be a very scary journey, because you don't know what's on the other side. And that's where we have the northern lights back here, and there's like the Big Dipper and the stars and everything. And it's like the bear is meant to intimidate you from going into this door, it said, because like that's part of your test. Right, it was part of the test. Are you willing to go in? And if you are, and journey to the other side, then you get to see all of the beauty and wonder that is hidden through this door. Having that come out here underneath this 8 of Bows, that's what I mean. It's like there's a space here where you can stand. It's almost like all of this firelight, all of these colors and everything right here are what are painting the sky back here. There's this Judgment card here to tell you that part of the recognition that you need to have at this time here at the end of the year is that people have been leaving space for you. And at the same time, it just showed me these 2 bows and how they're crossed right here. You feel like they are leaving you out. You are seeing a blocked door when there's an open door. You are seeing a dark, scary door when there's a warm, open space for you. And you're not going through this door, or you're avoiding it, or haven't been going through it, because it's almost like you feel like you don't belong. But these people have been leaving a space for you. You have to be willing to go through that door and go be friends with these people, or go hang out with these people. Come stand in that space and occupy that space. And it didn't say occupy, it was saying like, and be present. Are you going to be present, right? That's where I feel like there's a bit of that conversation. Like you might have been turning your back on some of this because you were like, oh, no, you know what? It just said like social anxiety. You do have some social anxiety, but part of it is you seeing blocks where other people are leaving an open space or see an open space. And with the Big Dipper here, it's saying like, right, like, get yourself some, like, get a nice healthy dose of some friend time and some people and socialization. Like, come on in is what it just said. And so that's where it's like, don't be afraid of hanging out with some people if that's what you really need here at the end of this year. There's space for you. You are invited. It just said you are invited. Seven of Vessels, mourning. Said you're standing very much alone in your own card because you are mourning. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I can see that. I was going to say my husband, who's a Sagittarius, just had a family member pass who very much had like a beard and stuff like that. And I can totally see that energy. So there is a bit of energy here that's like you might be mourning. And if it's not mourning specifically people, it's mourning all kinds of possible relationships, missing people and friendships in your life. That's what I was saying, to people who have passed on and everything. It's definitely, there's this mourning energy here of just kind of like, you know, I don't see these people anymore. Some people have passed on in my life. You're very reflective here in this wintertime, Sagittarius, about, and that's where it was saying like the space that's here is meant to be left here because somebody is missing. They've passed on, right? So you're also like, okay, I get that. It's like you're not trying to occupy that space or fill that space because it just showed it to me almost like how people leave an empty beer mug on a bar in out of respect for someone that's passed on at certain holidays. That's what it just gave to me, Sagittarius. So you're very much in your own energy because you're mourning a bit. You're trying to honor the memory of some people, whether they're still alive and just aren't in your life anymore, don't want to be a part of your life anymore, or they've passed on. That's the general energy that you've got around you. Let's connect over here though, and because you're not being an active part of this energy either. So like, I get it. I do get all that, but like, there's still a little something else there. What's this last card? Six of Vessels, reunion. So with the Six of Cups, this is always about like past lives. And yeah, reunions, people coming back together. So especially like grandfathers getting to see their grandkids again. There's a lot of that on your mind. And I think a lot of that's on your mind. Like I was saying, there was a bit of an energy here about like considering who you're going to be in the future, Sagittarius. What kind of wisdom are you passing on to your kids or your future grandkids? This card is usually representative of soulmate energy, and soulmates is a very broad word that can apply to kids in our life, really good friends, aunts, uncles, grandparents, parents, lovers, like whoever those really strong relationships are in our life. Those are the people that we say are our soulmates in this life too. It's not just a romantic thing, and that's where I see this energy here of like a grandfather and a grandson, and you're not quite in that older energy, and you're not this youthful energy either. You're in between, and that's another reason why you're standing back from this card, and you're allowing these energies to kind of have their reunion space and their time, their soulmate time, right? And that's another reason why it's from this group over here, you're standing back because you're allowing people to have their soulmate time, their reunion time, right? But you've turned your back very much on a large group of people. Someone just said they turned their back on you. It could have been both ways is what it just said. And so, and in general, you're kind of mourning that energy. You're not being very social. It might not even be because of these people or about those people. It might be about mourning other people. There's that space there. There's something kind of missing. Ooh, whoa, Sagittarius. That's freaking weird. Wow, that was weird. Okay, you see how he's got a cup in his hand? this cup in his hand, some little energy just came through and said that basically he stole this little cup from this altar here. Which, if you stole an offering cup from somebody's memorial, like if right back in the old days you used to drop off like food and drinks and honey and stuff when you were honoring the dead, it just kind of like grave robbing in a sense, or not necessarily even grave robbing, it's just kind of like, it's almost like petty theft. Like you took something from this altar and it was an offering to honor the spirit of someone else, someone that's passed on. And there's like some kind of shady business with that. Which is another reason why you're not standing in this card here. It's like you've already stolen the cup and snuck off with it. And that's where it was kind of like you got away with it. That's another reason. And that's why you're on top of things. It's like you snuck. Okay, I want one more card on that because that was weird. That came in here at the end, like, out of nowhere. You were having this whole different conversation, Sagittarius, and then it was like, oh yeah, and you stole something. Like, where the hell did that come from? Oh, look at that card. Look at this. Okay, let me tell you something right now. With this page of stones, the links, this card very much usually speaks about taking things slowly and moving with caution. Look at this links. I was talking about half man, half beast energy. This is up in a tree limb, and there's the tree, right? There, Sagittarius. Okay, if this isn't your energy directly, I'm thinking it is though, because we got so many linkses right here, right? We have a dead links, a passive links, and an active links. I was talking about links, like links, right? That like you type in, you stole a cup from some kind of altar, and it's kind of suggesting that you crept in and took it. This page of stones is usually about like school and studying, and it can be a lot about like students and things like that. It's just suggesting that you've crept in and took something from somebody else. And with this other page over here on the bottom of the deck, this page of arrows, like that's a little spy energy a lot of times. It can definitely be about learning and observing and stuff too. Something just clicked overhead here in my office. That's what I'm saying. There's something overhead. You've been kind of like creeping overhead. And someone, I think, is also listening and paying attention to you. Ooh, it just said, because you're the 11 card, and even though that's a major arcana, we got 2 11s right here. We got 2 11s right here. It said, this is your chance. This is the door. Okay, here we go. Here we go, Sagittarius. Here's the message. Here's another part of it, right? We got these 2 11s here. We got these 2 pages on either side. It said, here you go. Here's the message. You might be an extremely strong energy. All on your own. But you need to recognize a few things about yourself, or about things that you've been doing, the people around you, stuff like that, right? As much as some of these people have turned their back on you, you have turned your back on them. You are seeing blocks where other people are leaving a space. you do seem well grounded in general with your respect, like, well, this person's not here, or if I'm not invited, I'm not going to stand in that space. I'm fine. I'm strong enough on my own. I'm mourning some people. I'm thinking of some things. You haven't gone through this door because you're avoiding these people, or you're avoiding taking this space right here. You're not being an active part of this energy. And that's where you have to recognize, like, some of that is your choices too. You're over here, you might have hurt some people too. You got some blood on your spear. You've chosen a different weapon specifically because you don't want to be exactly like all of these people, but that's excluded yourself. So you got to balance that energy there. If you're feeling lonely or if you're feeling pushed away, like, you are equally pushing yourself away. This right here, you're standing back because you're allowing others to have that nice family soulmate time. But there's this small energy very similar to a childlike energy that's paying attention to you and watching you, and notices you not being an active part of this either. There's two otters down here and they're mingling and doing stuff. There's two people up here, they're mingling and doing stuff. But you're standing over here on your own, chilling with a cat. And this little bird is very much like a child energy today, and it's paying attention to you. It's like, oh, it just showed me the big bird up here, like mommy bird, baby bird, daddy bird, baby bird, something like that. And it's just like, why aren't you joining these people either, right? There's something about that there. Meanwhile, both of these energies, this lynx and this bird, are here to tell you that there is a doorway right here. You are stepping through a door as you enter this new year. And it might be a really scary door, but it's a door you need to go through. And part of this door is recognizing when you have taken things from other people that did not belong to you. When you crept over people, stepped over people, spied on people, were inactive, chose not to mingle. There's thank you, Spirit. It just said the word transgressions. Like, you have transgressions of your own. You've stolen a cup from here. You have not taken this space or stepped through this door to engage with this energy. You have not been active in this energy. And there's very much this creeping overhead spying energy in here. And the final kind of message is like, if you were honestly the kind of person that would take a cup off of someone's death altar, like, y'all, that's a curse on you. I'm just saying. They talk about, like, when you steal the water out of a stump, like stump water is supposed to be like really magical, and you're supposed to ask permission to take these things from nature and stuff, right? You're supposed to ask permission to take things from people or even the plants and stuff. At least that's what we say in spiritual practices. You have to ask permission to take some things, right? If you're just about stabbing people, taking things, turning your back on people, staying disengaged, creeping overhead, just not going through the doors you're supposed to go through, like, well, right? That's you putting all that energy on yourself. That's the warning here with this skull. And that's what those symbols are, is kind of like protection and awakening. It's like, if you're not waking up to realize the part you play in these cards too, then that energy is back on you. That's a curse on you. If you're stealing, if you're not honoring the dead, if you're not engaging with children, ancestors, family, friends, if you've been stealing and spying, or just stepping away from everyone and literally chilling in your own little space, just like, it's like your energy's just this card, Sagittarius. And you got all these other cards around you that you're not engaging with. So that's where it's like, that's your own little curse being in that box. It's your strength. You're good at it. That's some Sagittarius energy, but you feel very alone, and you feel like it's like you feel misunderstood. But I think Spirit wants to say, like, there's some other things that might be from your energy that you're not understanding that have affected the other cards here in this reading. And your spirit animals and your spirit guides are warning you, like, there's a door, there's a portal you're going through right here. And if you don't wake up and recognize some of these things, you're going to pass through that door, and it's not going to be pretty on the other side. You're going to find death on the other side. in a symbolic way, right? You'll be mourning. So you could have reunion and happy energy, or you could have mourning energy. And that's kind of just it. Which do you prefer? So think about that as you enter the new year. You got an 11, 11, 11. Those are doors. Those are portals. That's the message for you. That's what I got for you, Sagittarius. We're going to kind of like sweep off some of this energy a bit. Come back to center, right? Come back to center. And all of y'all be blessed into the new year. And just like, share, donate, subscribe as you see fit. I'll see you guys in 2022. Thanks. Bye. Sagittarius, I'm so sorry. I just forgot to pull a rune for you guys. So I'm going to add this on to the end of your reading. Pull a rune for the cards that we just had and everything to finish out your message. And your rune is Hagalaz. I just had that for Scorpio. So here we go. I think for you guys it is a little bit more legit. So it means hail. It means sacrifice, caution, solitude, worries, damage, debts, unexpected, and initially unwanted birth. Now, that's a very simplified definition, so I wanted to go into this book here and read the extended definition, just so you can get a better grasp of it. So, the first rune of Hagel's Agate translates to hail and points to the fact that we cannot always control our circumstances. Even with all of the technology we possess in modern times, nature can step in at any moment with destructive forces that flatten cities and even countries. Hailstorms may be brief and localized compared to larger natural disasters, but the balls of ice that pelt the ground can leave destruction in their wake, injuring people and animals and destroying entire crops. This certainly would have spelled disaster for any ancient community living off the land. Hagalaz signifies these forces of chaos that cannot be controlled, whether they come in the form of sweeping disaster, illness, or simply unexpected problems or disruptions that interfere with your progress toward a goal. You cannot control or fix this interference. In other words, resistance is futile. While this may be a frustrating time, know that your course is being corrected for reasons beyond your understanding. You may be being forced into taking a new approach, which will become clear with patience and perseverance, as well as an ability to analyze your situation without attachment to the outcome. If the reading is generally positive, then the chaos may be interpreted at the lower end of the spectrum, a temporary interruption rather than an unexpected life-altering development. If the runes close to Hagalaz are negative, then the trouble may be more severe or have long-lasting implications. If your reading is about a new project or endeavor, you may not want to start just yet. Hail, and it says additional meaning. So hail is a temporary phenomenon, beginning and ending as water in a liquid state. Hagalaz can signify a significant change that may be rocky at first, but ultimately the transformation that results from this experience will leave you better off. Important shifts are taking place for you, whether materially, emotionally, or spiritually. But for new creation to occur, what is old must be dismantled. Hagalaz has no reversed meaning. You can use this rune. You can use this rune for protection, luck, quick transformations, success in navigating difficult situations, and breaking unhealthy patterns. So that's a good one for you there, Sagittarius. Sorry I put up all the cards. I just realized as I was cleaning up, I was like, wait, I didn't pull a rune for him. So there's your rune. That's what I got for you. You might have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, since I did just pull that for Scorpio too. So you might want to check out that reading as well. And now, that's what I got for you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next year. Thank you.